Hello everyone, I am Erika of beadingschool.com and you are watching Coffee Time with Erika, my weekly beady broadcast. Today we are going to talk about bead embroidery, since this is one of our usual bead embroidery weeks. But before we would start, please let me know if you can hear me, if you can see me. You should be able to watch this video real time on the Beading School YouTube channel and also on the Beading School Facebook page. I see Catherine, and she says that she can hear me and see me on YouTube. Belinda is here, Georgina, Jessica, Linda, Sherry, and Sherry is watching from Facebook, and she is also here, and she also hears and sees me well. So that is wonderful. Thank you for letting me know. Also, hi Antoinette, hi Cosima. Hello, ladies. So, as you might know, since January we have started a new tradition. We dedicate a full week specifically to bead embroidery every second month, corresponding with every beading school academy theme. So we can all learn and experiment and play even more with this technique that offers so many options. And today I would like to show you the 3 statement bead embroidery pieces that I have made in the past for the Battle of the Beadsmith competition. Before I would start showing you, I would like to ask you, please follow Beading School on Facebook and please follow the Beading School YouTube channel for more beady education to make sure that you don't miss anything. And please share our posts and videos with your beading friends if you find them useful, so they can also play and learn with us. I would also like to greet Cindy, Rita, Katja, Kimberly, Jeannie, Katalin, Gunnar, Marcy, Maya, Carrie, Catherine, Sharon. Catherine says that bead embroidery is her favorite beading type. I have to say that it is also my favorite because of all the possibilities. Wilhelmine is here, and Erika, and Aniko, and Molly, and Corinne too. So when I create, then there is always a thought or feeling behind every piece. Whether it's a cute little earring or a substantial statement necklace, like the Borneo that I have showed you earlier today on the Beading School Facebook page. But the most emotional ones are really the big bead embroidery pieces that I made for the Battle of the Beadsmith competition. So today, during Coffee Time with Erika, which is now dedicated to bead embroidery, I will introduce you to the 3 statement pieces that I am the proudest of and that taught me the most about beadwork and also about myself. All of these 3 pieces were literally between my hands and on my table and on my eyes every day for 2 months while creating. And besides stitches, they are also full of intense emotions. So, as I have said, altogether I have entered the Battle of the Beadsmiths 3 times. Are you familiar with the Battle of the Beadsmiths? Do we maybe even have beaders out there who are participating in the Battle of the Beadsmiths? I am curious. In the meanwhile, I will start showing the first piece and then I will tell you more about it. But I would love to hear if you are familiar with the competition and if you have maybe entered it. Tammy is here, Carol, Samia is here. Catherine says, I dreamed about my battle pieces a lot. Can imagine, Catherine. usually all of the designers who enter, they really dedicate lots of time from their lives to the Battle of the Beadsmiths. So indeed, it's no wonder that you dream about them. Shona is here, Sherry. Katalin, of course, knows the Battle of the Beadsmiths very well. Gunel too. And Carol says, I am familiar with the Battle of the Beadsmiths, but I am by no means talented enough to enter. And dear Carol, I am glad that you know it. It's really one of the biggest happenings during the whole year for beaders. And I would just like to encourage you that please keep playing, please keep developing your skills, and you might be capable of a lot more than you expect today. Maybe tomorrow, maybe on the day after tomorrow. Shona says she hasn't heard of it yet. Ginny followed in the past. Rita says bead embroidery is her favorite and she loves this piece. Thank you, Rita. And dear Deb, if you don't have time to watch now, as always, you will find the recording of this video on the Beading School YouTube channel and on the Beading School Facebook page. Too. And Terry is here too. So good to see you. So, the Battle of the Beadsmiths, as the name says, it is organized by one of the biggest wholesalers in the beading world, the Beadsmiths. Many of our beloved beads, cabochons, tools, think about the thread zap, for example, think about the good quality flip-top boxes, come from Beadsmiths. Many of our Miyuki beads also at beading school come from Beadsmiths. Some of the true to fire polished beads. So even if you might not be familiar with them, I'm pretty sure that you have had something on your bead mat that is coming from this company. And Beadsmith and Stephen Weiss, they organize a big elimination competition for beaders every year. The elimination competition means that at the beginning, beaders are divided into groups. When I last entered, then it was 4 groups because it was over 200 of us participating. And then you are paired up with someone else randomly. And always after a round, half of the designers, half of the beaders need to leave the competition, and the remaining designers, they are again randomly matched, and the next round follows. And what you can see on the picture now, it's the Serendip vest, and this was my first entry piece to the Battle of the Beadsmiths. With my last one, the third piece with the Safekeeper that I will show you later, I got close to the finals in my group, but I have never been between really like the last one once. And it's all right. All 3 times the pieces that I made taught me something completely new, and my beady horizons expanded thanks to them. I was also very proud of myself that I managed to finish on time, managed to execute what I wanted, like good enough. I made lots of new beading friends between the fellow designers, and maybe most importantly, I learned to trust that I can make things work, despite having to change the plans several times, sometimes many, many times, despite facing unforeseen obstacles, and despite making mistakes myself. And we also have a contest at Beading School, a bi-monthly contest for our Beading School Academy students. And I would like, it's always like such a beautiful celebration of your talent and showing off your creativity. And I would just like to like send this message out there to everyone who is participating in our challenges, that please remember that being the winner, it's not the only way of getting the a prize in the competition. Pushing yourself a bit outside of your comfort zone, learning something new and making new friends and connecting to each other is the real reward. Uh, Nitti joined us also now. Anita, Jennifer, Gisela, Rachel, Sophia, Heather. Hello, ladies. And now, back to the pieces that I wanted to show you. Or Louisa is here also. Ladies, before I would start talking about the pieces, about this part, what I said about the competitions and really being a winner, is there something that you would like to share about it, your own experience when you were competing? How did that feel? Sophia says, that is so beautifully said. Seeing your pieces side by side with other amazing creations is the biggest reward for me at the mini challenge. So nice to read that, Sophia. You always enter with beautiful pieces and being in that nice community and sharing compliments with everyone. I think it's so beautiful. It's always like an extra celebration for me when finally we can post the mini challenge pieces. And Carol says, it's very true that it's nice to look back over the pieces I have made over the last 2 years and to see how much I have learned. And that is also so very important. It can be your beady diary. You can maybe, I would suggest saving the pictures of your mini challenge entries separately into a folder on your computer. So maybe like mark them with dates, and you will see how you evolved, how your skills expanded, how much did your style change, or how consistent it is. It will be super interesting to look back at it. So thank you for sharing that, ladies. So one of the pieces that I have made for a competition and I am the most proud of is the Serendip vest, inspired by a never to forget journey to Sri Lanka. Serendip, it it comes from Arabic and it means serendipity, and it is another name of Sri Lanka actually. I bezeled exactly 211 cabochons for this piece, and I had to sew down about 2 meters of rhinestone chain. The piece taught me how to work with fabric, and also thanks to my friend Eva Kaman, I could also figure out how to correct it once I changed my mind about the part of the design without having to spend lots of time frogging and possibly leaving the fabric damaged with poke marks. It was a big step for me because up until that point I was like very adamant of like I will figure out everything on my own, but I actually started to ask for more help from my beading friends, and that was amazing. And I have there is a question. Rachel is asking how long did it take to beat this. So for the Battle of the Beadsmith competition, we always have a limitation of 2 months when we can work on a piece. So I remember that on the first day I set my alarm for like 6 a.m. in the morning. I woke up and I started to bezel all those cabochons. So indeed, it's always 2 months. In the meanwhile, I see that Heather shared some news about her health. Dear Heather, please get well soon. Take care of yourself. I have here a bit more pictures about Serendip. This is how it looks like from the front. And this is a stone doorstep in front of Buddhist shrines in Sri Lanka. This was actually the main source of inspiration for the Serendip vest, the concentric circles and all the decoration. I also have here a picture of the Buddhist church. So as you can see, there is the stone doorstep in front of the stairs. In the meanwhile, Sharon shared something about embroidery. She says, for me, thinking outside the box was key. I entered the competition at my local bead society, and the theme was any queen related, as it was around one of the queen's birthdays. How interesting, Sharon. But what popped into my head was a queen bee, and I completed a piece entitled It's Good to Be Queen. It won, I think, because it stood out from all the royal queen entries. Dear Sharon, big, big, big congrats. You can be so proud of yourself. And indeed, thinking outside the box. And first, learning the rules and then breaking them, I think, is many times the key of creating something fresh and surprising that will make an impression. And Belinda also has something to share. She says, I ended up repairing a lot of bead embroidery in the late 70s and the early 80s, so I never actually wanted to create one. I finally got over that, but I have done very little with the technique. And Terry says, one thing I think that is so important with anything is not to compare yourself to others and their skill level, but in the end, stay true to yourself and your style with your pieces. Terry, your wisdom, thank you for sharing it again. And Kata would like to see the piece. Most of the time it's behind me on the figure, but indeed I have it here. So this is how it looks like from close, the back of it. And to go forward with the pictures, this is another detail from the Buddhist shrine. And by the way, ladies, if you want to see something up close from this, then just tell me, use the opportunity while we are all here, and I can actually show it. And this is where I actually made the plans. For me here, what was very important, that I made good plans for the piece. I knew that I can't start thinking about what I want once the time starts, because then with like ordering material, figuring out that I don't have enough, and maybe losing precious time, I would really hurt my chances of finishing. So by coincidence, we spent a month in Sri Lanka before that time when I could work on my piece. And this is a little molo behind the accommodation that we had, and that's exactly the spot where I was sitting when I designed the piece. I will make this one bigger, and I will make myself smaller because I'm not so important now, I think. And like sitting here and looking at the dragonflies, looking at the birds, listening to the birds at early hours, it gave me such comfort and calmness that actually right there in one spot I could make all the plans for it. I also found some pictures from those first plans. You might spot that this exact motif didn't actually get to the piece. So indeed, I had to readjust my plans many, many times during creating. This was supposed to be the back originally, or this was another idea. Sherry is asking what is the component that I used for the center, if it's metal or cabochon. And thank you so much for the compliments, Sherry. It really means a lot to me. So it is a piece of metal. It's some kind of metal stamping. I did not have filigrees yet. I think I would have loved to include filigrees in this. They would fit the style very much. It's some kind of metal stamping that I got from a friend. Okay, this is already the next one. But do you have any questions about this specific piece, maybe, ladies? What I learned, by the way, with this one, that this was the first time that I worked with big pieces of fabric. When I constructed the vest myself, I always made just smaller traveler style bead embroidery pieces before that. And it was a challenge for me to make a piece of clothing. I would make things differently nowadays. I see where I came short. That, for example, I didn't stiffen the fabric, so it is a little bit like not so nice and smooth. And Belinda agrees that the setting you bead in can really add to the zen of beading already when you are just planning. And thank you, Kata, and everyone. Rachel is asking what kind of fabric did I use for the vest. So it's the same as always. From the outside, it's ultra suede, and inside I have leather. Belinda is asking if I wear it. I used to wear it for theater. I always wear it actually when there is a bead show. Kind of eye-catching, you know. But yeah, I haven't worn it for quite some time. Should wear it more, I think. Erika is asking if you can see it on my bead mat. I can show it on this camera. I didn't set up my hand camera today. I didn't think that I will need that. I think anyway that this way you will see it better. So this is Sherry. You can see the stamping in the middle better. The front is quite simple. Ginny is asking, what year did you do this piece? It was, I tried to calculate. It was maybe 12 years ago. I know that I was still living in Hungary back then, and I moved away from Hungary 10 years ago. So 11, 12 years, maybe. Sherry is asking, what made you change your design from what you drew to what you made? Was it just organic? Super organic. And what a good question, Sherry. Mm, as I started to work, I just didn't feel it. It gave me a really good base from which I could jump off. But not everything works in reality, what we think about. And I think many times that ability to adjust and adjust again and adjust again, that's the key. If I had Andrea here with me, my friend and colleague Andrea and main partner in crime, then she would really laugh at this. She, with her, we used to laugh also sometimes that the key to the success of beading school, besides our amazing community, is the ability of like coming up with plans A, B, C, D, and sometimes A, especially during Advent season. So this is valid, I think, in many areas of life. Niti says COVID didn't help in being able to wear it very often, I suppose. So true, Niti. So true. And hi, Ariana. And Marta is asking, how long did it take to make it? 2 months. I used the full 2 months. And now, let's see the next piece. And this is the Borneo necklace. And hi, Martika. And this is a kind of a tropical whirlwind created from lots of cap chain and cabochons and coins. So I love beading with coins. But most importantly, this is the jewel of a warrior. It is purely inspired by my travels in Malaysia and the Malaysian part of Borneo. We headed out together with Andrea, actually, and with another friend who is sometimes teaching English for our beloved beading school team. But we spent together only 2 weeks, and then the girls headed home, and I stayed for 2 more weeks. So it was for me my first solo travel in an not just and to a quiet exotic place, and it also brings back the feelings that I felt when looking at the witnessing the culture of Malaysia, of course. The pink, the harsh pink that you can see, it refers to a flower, the Rafflesia flower that grows in the jungles of Borneo. The coins, of course, those are very primary references to Borneo. The big orange stone, that's the hot equatorial sun. The top part, it is like the lush jungle. Then you might see that the bottom part and the part below the orange, they are the cup chain on the very edge is turquoise, and that is the turquoise blue coastline of Borneo. And on one place, around the orange stone, you have the triangular shaped beads on the edge, and that refers to the sharks in the water. At the bottom, I have a skull, and that is for the headhunter tradition of Borneo. But besides all these cultural or geographical references, this stands for my inner battle. Inner battle as a first-time solo traveler. Also inner battle because before traveling to Borneo, maybe a year or 2 before that, I fell off a boat while rafting, and it was very scary. I couldn't hold my head above the water, and I developed water phobia. And instead of just letting it be, I decided that I will change it. So in Borneo, I signed up for a diving course, and I really wanted to learn how to dive. However, I had these plans, but had to adjust them as it was not so easy to get over my water phobia. And on the other hand, I also got sick. Sorry. So actually, I got behind from the course and I couldn't finish with the others. And still, then I had to like evaluate, am I still like a warrior or did I fail for good? So there was lots of internal work to do. I was really pushing myself those days. Maybe not the best idea. And this became a very emotional piece for me. So I have some more pictures about Borneo. And Catherine says, in the meanwhile, asymmetry is so beautiful when as well balanced as this. Thank you so much, Catherine. And that is actually what I wanted to say about asymmetry, that this was what this piece taught me, that this was the first piece where I went asymmetric completely, and I gave up of my very orderly designs, and I just went with the flow, how I felt it. I would also like to greet in the meanwhile Patricia and Rita and Ariana, and I hope I spotted everyone. And here I have some more pictures. So this is a detail. This is at the top the jungle part, and at the bottom the turquoise coastline with the fins of sharks, and the orange the sun, the pink the rafflesia flower. And thank you so much, ladies, for your kind comments. They mean a lot to me. And indeed a wonderful reminder of adventures and the beautiful places that I was lucky to see. I went to a photo shoot with this. I was so proud of it. This was like 10 years ago. So, yeah, indeed, a warrior piece. And Kimberly says, this is the first time I have really looked hard at this piece. I agree with the asymmetry talk. It can become beautiful when it is living among the beauty of something that is symmetric and perfect. And Sherry says, and thank you, Kimberly. Sherry says, it is so interesting how each component was meticulously chosen to represent different elements and parts of nature. It makes it all more special and interesting and unique. Sherry, you are writing always so beautiful things, and I think we should talk about it during a coffee time, how to like build up your stash a bit, and finding objects even randomly around you that you can use later. So so I was very proud of making this asymmetric piece, but now it was 9 or 10 years ago when I did this. So now I also see the mistakes, of course. So I would make the part around my neck very different. And Irena is asking, what is the gorgeous glowing orange stone? Dear Irena, it's a type of jasper, if I remember well, and we have these types in the beading school bead shop. If you look up gemstones, I will help with that, and I put in the link, then there will be a category where you can find this type. Indeed, it's colored jasper, not originally comes from nature in these wild colors, but it's a natural stone colored brightly. Patricia is asking, super good question, what would you do different? Indeed, the part around the neck, that was not great, and I totally messed up the clasp. I have some more pictures of it. So this is when it was still a work in progress piece. Still, I was adjusting my plan. I had a pretty good plan. This time I was not drawing. This time I was arranging the components that I had. First, I had a bunch of components that I wanted to use. I gathered them in a big bag, and then I started to play with them. And after every idea, I took a picture. Sometimes I put more, sometimes I changed it, sometimes I took away something. As you can see, there are Miyuki long magatamas that at the end didn't end up in the piece. But this was very important to my process. And Lovelace, do you have any questions or notions about the piece? Sharon is asking if I wear it. I wore it. Thank you for the question, Sharon. I wore it a few times, but since I messed up the clasp, then it's not so nice to wear, maybe. So I have to redo it. A few years back, when I was teaching in Bergamo, in Italy, at a beautiful show, Master Beads Italy, then we actually had a fashion show when one of the models wore this, and that was super nice to see. The design would stay the same, but I would change the part around the neck. With the design, I am happy still. Georgina says that the rope around the piece says strength to me. Thank you, Georgina. If you look closer, then you see that it's not completely smooth, and I don't like the way how it's attached to the main part, and the clasp is a mess, but thank you so much. Sophia is asking, what price would you put on a piece like this? I would never go under what I feel comfortable with. But it's not a question that I would be able to answer right now on this spot. I value my work, I value my time, so I would never sell it under what I think is okay for it. Lita! Hi, Lita. She asks, is it possible to see the back of this amazing piece? I have it here, so I will put myself big, and here is the piece. So I actually don't have the skull anymore. I have to search for a new one, but it's again the same that I embroidered it on leather, and I have embroidered it on ultra suede, and then I covered it with leather. It was a bit challenging to cut out the leather around the shark fins, but I didn't have so good scissors as I do now. So this is how it looks like. And now let's see the third and final piece that I created for the competition. And it's called the Safekeeper. And again, it is a necklace. So, as I said, all the pieces brought me some new piece of technical knowledge. And this was the time when I first worked with found irregular objects that I picked up from the street. It was made in a time full of changes. I was moving from Prague to Amsterdam. I was already here. And during that move, I had to make lots of decisions that what will I keep? What will I throw away? What will I gift to someone? What will I try to sell? And it made me really think that which objects are important in my life and which might be pricey but still without real value. So I would like to read the passage for you that accompanied the little text that accompanied the piece in the competition. So here it goes. Is Grandma's fancy fake necklace worth keeping, or should I get rid of it, together with the golden earrings, a gift from my aunt for the sake of good manners, but not for the sake of love? What about the coin found in a pocket long after a muddy faraway adventure? And what to do with the branches collected while visiting a friend? The spoon that I used to stir my coffee with on the happiest mornings of my life, and the stone that I picked up on one of our last walks with our dogs. What to do with the shiny, bright pieces of glass which cost a lot of money but have no memory attached to them? A note to myself: no matter how much time passes and how many things remain with us, carefully packed away in boxes or exhibited proudly on a shelf, there's always some empty space in our lives which cannot be filled with materialistic objects. So, indeed, there are some fancy components in this, but also totally random stuff. How you call it? The wood that you pick up from the dry wood. There is a spoon and coins, and indeed negative space in it, because collecting objects will not answer all the needs we have. Driftwood, thank you so much, ladies. And Sophia says, this is my absolute favorite of all your pieces. Thank you so much, Sophia. And Ariana says, it's so much fun and crazy and still amazingly beautiful. Thank you. Like, when I first thought about really a spoon and driftwood, but I felt that this is the right way. And Kimberly is asking, Erika, what was the time difference between the second piece and this one? 1 year, I think. There were some years that I did not compete. Altogether, it was I think a span of maybe 5 years between the first and the third one. So not terribly long. And Manuela, so good to see you. Manuela is asking, is it made with one piece of backing or is it separate components connected together? Let's see. I think it's one single piece. I don't like to connect leather. Here I am, a lot more proud of the gloves that I made. I will show you in a sec. This is how it looks like from the back. So indeed, one piece of leather. If you need leather, you can try to write the treasury ladies if maybe they have a full piece yet. I can't guarantee that, but sometimes it happens that they can help you out if you need a big piece of leather. And a few more pictures. Hide Manuela now. So this was me back then taking a picture, totally like last moment, last afternoon to enter the competition. I took the pictures in an industrial area in NDSM here in Amsterdam, an old shipyard. And because of those changes, I wanted to make this piece very dynamic. So the wave filigrees, the golden colored wave filigree, it helped me to create that movement and energy in the piece. It's another detail with some stones, crystals, and a coin again. And this is the clasp. I was also really struggling with the part around the neck with Borneo, but then I was happy with how this turned out. And these are around the neck. 4 of them. And let's see if you have any questions about this piece. Anita agrees about the negative spaces that can't be filled with stuff. Sophia, you are so kind, but I don't think it's worth it's there yet. Maybe one day. But thank you so much. And Kimberly says this piece of art represents so much of the things you experienced and your expansion in the knowledge of yourself growing as a person. And I'm so glad that you can see that, Kimberly, like really every piece that appears on my bead mat, but thanks to their size, these big bead embroidery pieces, they have a piece of me. And Catherine says, life is so full of things. It's hard not to collect, but can later be a weight. Indeed. Or at one period, something can be important, but then later, not so much. Patricia is asking, are you working on a piece now? Not on a big one, dear Patricia. At the moment, beading school is the baby that I am growing. We are growing together with my colleagues and you, dear beaders. And at the moment, I don't have the headspace for another big piece. But that's why also it's really a big pleasure for me when I see you ladies thriving in the beading school club, or my dear friends designers, Zuzi, Veronka, Nitti, everyone, Ruxandra, Polinka, everyone, and all you ladies. Your creations kind of like bring me the, not kind of, really like bring me the pleasure, even when I need to divide my time now between creating and between caring for beading school. Lita is asking if you can see it on me, the Safekeeper. Oh, sure. I wore it once to a Dutch theater, and it was funny because here it's really not usual to the theater in Amsterdam, and it's really not usual to dress up that much. So I felt weird. I didn't really wear this into public. The other ones, yes, but not this. And this top is not fit for my beautiful beading school blouse. It's not the best cut to wear this. And not my striped shorts. We have finally summer here, but to see the proportions, I will put it on my helper, so you can have a better view if I manage to get it now down from my neck. Might not be that easy. I'm stuck. Okay, I will struggle with this later. Mm, Sherry has a question. Thank you so much for your compliments. She says the coffee spoon screams, Erika. Of course. And she asks, do you stitch all along the ladder in this and your previous pieces you showed us? The clasp is beautiful. All of your work is just amazing. Thank you so much, Sherry. And indeed, also inside the negative spaces, there are stitches even here and all around. And pretty much always like 2 months, Ariana is asking about the time. I know that I finished Borneo sooner. It was like maybe 5 or 6 weeks, but the other ones were like lots of work. And Terry says, I love that you share so much of yourself with all of us. It makes us love you and this place even more. And thank you for being receptive to that, Terry. I create with my heart. I create my jewels with my heart, beading school with my heart. So thank you for being here and sharing this with me. And yeah. Besides, so a bit hard to come back now to facts after sharing all the emotions. But since this is bead embroidery week at beading school, then there are also more things that I would like to share with you. So as we promised in January and February, when we started to have our bead embroidery weeks, then I told you that we will also have a collection of art cabochons, always corresponding with the current Beading School Academy theme. And I think that from time to time it's really nice when something new appears or on our bead mat. And I am very, very, very proud and happy of the art cabochons that we can bring to you these days. And I would like to show you something special. So back then, we didn't have art cabochons yet. I wish we had. And nowadays, you know that we are working with the Bavarian Princess team at the Beading School Academy, inspired by Sisi, Empress of Austria and Queen of Hungary. And in your collections, in the Fuchsia level Beading School Academy boxes, we had a beautiful star-shaped cabochon that Veronka worked with for the second signature piece. I will show you the piece one more time before we would move on to something else and bead embroidery. So this was the piece that Veronka created from the box, and that is included in all the fuchsia level memberships for you. And guess what happened? This was the original size of the original version of these beautiful star-shaped cabochons that we included in the box. And after they were ready, then actually the ceramic artist who created them, they had an idea that this would also look great in a bigger size. So work continued, and this happened. And dear Heather, we will have something new to look forward to, and also we will try to restock the small stars as soon as possible. But back to my original thought that after our dear ceramic artist had her playtime, she's a super amazing person, full of ideas, then this is the bigger version, same shape but a bigger version of the star. Can you guess who created this beautiful bead embroidered piece? Because even if, thanks to their amazing precision, art cabochons are great also for bead woven jewels, but in my opinion they just scream for bead embroidered designs thanks to the flat back size and all the artistry included. Corinne says Nitty, Lita says Zuzi, Heather and Kimberly say Nitty. And indeed, this beautiful piece, the Alice, was created by Nitty. And since she knew that you are also longing for a design that includes the 3mm Miyuki bugle beads, then she also included those. We have lots of star shapes to play with during this theme, because Sissy loved wearing star-shaped diamonds in her hair, and that was the source of inspiration. And you can find Nitty's tutorial for different jewel bundles for the Alice tutorial, and the stars also on their own in the beading school bead shop. I would recommend checking out the new in the bead shop category. That's where you will find them the easiest way. My dear colleagues are still busy with restocking some goodies and also activating some of the products. So please be patient. They might come a little bit later. Please, Andy, Edina, please keep me updated through the chat that how is it going now. But while we are waiting, this is, by the way, another colorway that is available. Also very beautiful. But while we are waiting, then I would also like to share something else with you. A little while ago, we brought back the small navette art cabochons for you to play with. And many of you remembered that my dear colleague Zuzi and friend and fellow coffee drinker created this amazing jewel using the small navette art cabochons. So we decided to bring back the kits. So 3 colors of Zuzi's Aztec Sun and one completely new colorway are now restocked again. And mentioning, if you would like to learn how to play with these small nuggets, then this is really an amazing piece. Sherry says, I love this Aztec design. I am thrilled you brought back the kids. I'm happy that we made you happy with this. And I will share my screen with you. It might take a little time. So between the new in the bead shop stuff, you will find the Elisa Jewel bundle in 4 colors. You will find one new Aztec Sun. You will find, and here is something that I haven't mentioned yet, and let me show it to you. I showed actually already. So, that's spotted. You might have spotted in this little video, thank you, Andy, that there are not only small and big stars, but also other art cabochons in the bead shop now that are inspired by the Bavarian princess theme. We are still waiting for them to appear. The bead shop is unfortunately still on the slower side, but our new server arrived, so hopefully it will help. As I see, we also have new filigrees that we haven't had before. So, they are also great to include in your bead embroidery, but as we talked about it last week, they are also great for bead woven pieces for many different situations in your beadwork. So we will have to try to refresh a few more times probably. In the meanwhile, let's check also the restock category, and I actually have notes that what is coming, so I can also read it to you. So we will have the new art cabochons with the royal gate, the romantic heart, and in colors that fit the theme very well. But we will also have something that is included in Zuzi's Aztec Sun, but we haven't had a restock for a while. I am not talking about the small navet cabochon. Can you maybe spot on this picture that what is that special component that Zuzi used, and we use it rarely, and we can use it in bead embroidery very well? I'll taking a sip of tea until you try to figure it out. Sherry thinks that it's the ball chain, and indeed, so. Susie used the ball chain around the filigree and a row of rhinestone chain, and she also attached some more ball chain under the cabochon in the bottom. And when we were discussing that Aztec sun will come back and then we need ball chain again, then actually Nitti had an idea that it would be also nice to have faceted, kind of like faceted ball chain that we can play with. So now that is also available in the beading school bead shop. As I showed you, we have the filigrees also that are new, and in the restock we also have cup chain in your favorite colors. And I told you earlier that probably we will have to increase the price of cup chain, but for now we managed to stay where they were, so that is super good news. And Rachel is asking for the link for the cup chains, link for the ball chains. I will look it up for you. So here I am between the metal components, and then I click on chains. The webshop is still working, ladies. It is slow, but not tragic. It's alive. And I post, Rachel, the link to the ball chain for you. I don't see the faceted ball chain for some reason. Let me look one more time. Maybe it's not activated yet. So it will take a bit of time until the ladies activate everything. I would also maybe recommend to take a sip of tea or coffee and then return to check later. I know that it's annoying. I'm really sorry about that. We are still really asking for a bit more patience, and I'm sorry about this. We have now the new server, so hopefully it will help. The ladies are working on it, and I will actually close my windows that I opened here, because by opening them I make it worse for my colleagues. So it will come as soon as possible. Both Andrea and Edina are in the treasury now to activate and do the restocks. And thank you so much for being patient. It's super annoying for everyone, this situation with the IT. We are really investing into it, lots of resources and lots of time, and hopefully it will be solved during these upcoming weeks. Thank you so much, ladies. And until we are waiting, then can you please tell me if you have any other questions about bead embroidery, about the pieces that I showed you? Is there something that I can help you with? Oh, Andy says they are on the last click. Thank you so much for keeping us updated, Andy. You're the best. So, ladies, do you have any questions about bead embroidery? Has anyone beaded Susie's Aztec sun in the past? I'm curious. I have seen some also uploaded to the bead shop as examples for fellow beaders. And how does it look like? It's always super nice to see. It's on Lita's list. So nice to hear. And Carol says she beaded it already, and it's a beautiful design. And Kata, I beaded some Aztec suns. Did you have a favorite color combination for it, Kata? Katja also made 2 of them. What worked best for you, ladies? Which color combinations? Did you have some of the kits, or did you make your colors on your own? Ariana had a kit and she loved it. I'm so happy about it. And Sophia says she needs to do some more embroidery. And Manuela wore the Aztec sun just yesterday. So nice. In the meanwhile, with one eye, I saw that also Susie popped in with a wish. And also, I would love to go back to knit this beautiful piece to admire it a bit more. Like, she did such a great job with this one. I love it that she created this net with the bugle beads in the middle and all the sparkle of the rhinestone of the Suvan rhinestones. And this is very much like Bavarian Princess, inspired by the rich green color and the deeper browns. Super nice. And this second color, it was the sample was beaded actually by one of the ladies in the treasury. And you lovelies are always asking when we talk about the treasury ladies, are they beading themselves or are they just preparing the beautiful packages with so much thought and care? And usually the ladies bead only during the beading school summer days, which we love organizing for the team so we can spend time together. And 2 times we had like a little beading workshop so everyone could learn a bit of beading. But then, like, there was not that much beading in between. And one of the ladies in the treasury now started to dig into it. And can you guess who is that? We have a really great emerging beader in the treasury now, who will also be of great help with the samples and will be able to give you even better answers when you reach out with some questions. First, she will for sure ask some questions in the Beading School Club also. But can you guess who from the treasury ladies beaded this piece? Susie says, I know, and she did so well. She can be so proud of herself. And Andrea, in the meanwhile, says, it's finally here. So indeed, we have now the new lovely, inspiring components for bead embroidery and more online. So we can take a look. I will share my screen. And Ariana is asking Melinda, and indeed it's Melinda. Melinda is caring for you beaders, and she is mainly the one who answers your emails and messages if you reach out to info@beadingschool.com. She just finished recently her university studies. She studied arts, and now she has more time to focus on beading, and even will be with us for more hours. So she will have more time. And Corinne says that there are no prices yet. Andy, can you check on it, please? But you should be able to see our beautiful art cabochons. And I selected 4 different colors for the Bavarian Princess collection. Every collection that is inspired by the current Beading School Academy team. So now Sissy And every collection, thank you, Kimberly, every collection has some main colors. So this time we have the sissi green because of the beautiful Bavarian forests. We have the sand, which is a new color of art cabochons. We have the soft turquoise, and we have the vintage pink. You can see here the tutorial on its own. You can see the jewel bundle on its own. And there are 3 more jewel bundles besides the original piece. I show you one more time the link, and thank you so much if you decide to go for something in the beading school bead shop. We always make sure that it's like nice quality, inspiring component that will keep you inspired and motivated to expand your beading skills even further. This time we created bundles from the pieces. So if you like, for example, the sissi green color, then if you go for all three designs of the art cabochons, then in the same color, then you can get them for a bit better price. That's quite a nice difference in the case of art cabochons. Belinda says that all the art cabochons are amazing. I'm so glad that you like them, Belinda. We also have here the faceted ball chains with some gold painting in a bundle. Some more chains. The small navettes in a new color. The big navette in a new color. The filigrees that I mentioned. Veronka's Achilleon is actually a gift to all current Beading School Academy members. The tutorial that you see at the bottom. I will also open the restock part. You can see here now all the colors of the ball chain. And we actually got back the fan flowers that were so popular 3 years ago in the summer between you. So we created bundles from them. We have 2 beautiful new tutorials, the Rebellion and the Roseninso. This is the new color of Susie's Aztec Sun. And here you have more art cabochons now. So one of the designs that I selected for the theme is this candle holder with the candles lit. As I can imagine, like Sissy needing to like light for reading, for example, and for example, her lady of the court would light some candles for her to create a beautiful atmosphere. I also chose this heart kind of locket. She had to keep emotions sometimes hidden because of her status as the empress, so that's why the locket. But if you watch the original Romy Schneider series, then you will also see the romantic part. So it was important for me to bring that back. You really loved the tile cabochons that we brought to you during the Beading School birthday week. Susie was creating with it the leaf ring, and now we have some new colors from the tiles. Which art cabochons do you like the most, by the way? Or which color speaks to you? Which shape or which color? Usually I'm not into beige that much, but in this case, I really like the sand colored art cabochons. I think for this theme, they are really fitting. And we have now also the small nuts in this beautiful turquoise. That's such a good one. Thank you, Andrea, for arranging it. Nita likes the nuggets in turquoise. Not a surprise. I would also like to mention that we still have some of the bead embroidery starter kits available. So if you are at the beginning of your bead embroidery journey, then it's really worth it to go for that. So then you have all the tools and the basic materials that you need. Gunnar likes the light turquoise heart. And some more tiles and more hearts and more small nuggets. You wanted a lot more small nuggets, so here they are for you. And from last week we still have many of the filigree brooches and hair pieces. I think the nuggets also look really good in the pearly colors that were the main colors of the Aurora Borealis collection. And if we check out the restock shelf in the bead shop, then we have here still the shell beads, the kali beads, indeed the tiles and nuggets are restocked too. Paper mache beads are restocked. Oh, this is a good one. The Allure Filigree Charm Bundle. And one of my favorite colors from the pearls, the Shiny Comet. Many of you were also waiting for the Sayulita glass connectors. So 3 colors are back at the moment. Indeed, the bead embroidery toolkit was also restocked. And it's really, really worth it to click through all the tabs here to find out what you were waiting for. And Sherry says, I really love the sand color. I think one can do so much using the sand cabochon in a monotone palette, or use the sand with pinks or turquoise. The possibilities are endless. And thank you for sharing that, Sherry. I think the reason why I like the sand this much is because I can really imagine it with some dark bronze and turquoise and a bit of gold. I think that will be amazing. And lovely ladies, we really overdid it with time today, but bead embroidery is an endless topic. I would like to thank you for all your compliments, all the questions, all your enthusiasm and creativity. Thank you so much also for bearing with us while we struggle with the IT problems, because it's very important for us, and thank you so much that you stick to us also during these hard times so we can together get to the end of it. And on Thursday, let's see what's happening on Thursday. We will have No One Has to Bead Alone. That is based on the live design session. So we can bead together. I will be waiting for you. We can bead together the Lutea design. There is no homework. We also mark now that if there is a homework. So at the usual time, we are meeting each other to bead Lutea. Kata also likes the sand and the pearly gray. And thank you so much, ladies, for your creativity, for your precious bead orders. And until Thursday, take care. Bye-bye.